In a small, quiet village, at the foot of tall mountains, there lived an old teacher named Master Anwar. His house was small and simple, made of wood, with a little garden outside. Under a big banyan tree in the garden, he would sit every day, reading, thinking, or meeting visitors. People from many towns and villages came to see him because they believed he was very wise. One morning, a young man named Rahil came to visit the teacher. Rahil was strong, full of energy, and his eyes shone with confidence. He had studied in the city, read many books, and listened to many teachers. He thought of himself as very clever. Still, he had heard that Master Anwar was the wisest of all. So he decided to learn from him. Rahil bowed before the old teacher and said, "Master, I have come to learn from you. I know many things already, but I want to be as wise as you are. Please teach me your secrets." The teacher looked at him carefully. He noticed the pride in Rahil's voice, the way he stood tall as if he already knew everything. The teacher gave a small smile and said, "Sit with me, my son. You must be tired after your long walk." They sat under the banyan tree. The teacher brought a teapot and 2 cups. Slowly, he began to pour tea into Rahil's cup. The young man watched as the cup filled up, but the teacher did not stop. He kept pouring until the tea spilled over, running down the cup and dripping onto the table, then onto the ground. "Master," Rahil cried out, "the cup is full. It cannot hold any more tea. Why are you still pouring?" The old man stopped pouring and looked at Rahil with kind eyes. "You are like this cup," he said softly. "You are full of your own knowledge, your pride, your thoughts. How can I pour new wisdom into you when there is no space? Before you can learn, you must empty your cup." Rahil froze. His face grew red with shame. He realized the master was right. He had come to learn, but deep inside, he thought he already knew so much. He had wanted the teacher to make him wise quickly, without first letting go of his pride. He lowered his head and said, "Master, I understand, but how can I empty my cup?" The teacher poured the rest of the tea into the earth. Then he turned the empty cup upside down and placed it before Rahil. "To empty your cup," he said, "you must let go of pride. You must not pretend to know everything. You must be ready to listen, even if the lesson comes from a child, even if the truth is small. Only then will you be ready to receive wisdom." That evening, Rahil sat alone under the tree. He thought about his life. He had worked hard, studied much, but he always wanted to prove he was the smartest. Now he realized that true wisdom was not about showing off, but about being humble enough to admit how little one really knows. The next morning, Rahil returned to the teacher. This time he bowed lower and spoke softly. "Master, I am ready. I have emptied my cup. Please teach me." From that day, Rahil's learning truly began. He no longer interrupted the teacher to show what he knew. Instead, he listened with full attention. He asked questions not to prove his cleverness, but to understand deeply. He did small tasks in the garden, fetching water, sweeping leaves, planting seeds. From each task, he learned something important. When he watered the plants, he learned patience, that growth takes time. When he swept the floor, he learned humility, that no work is too small. When he shared food with poor travelers, he learned kindness, that wisdom without compassion is empty. Years passed, and Rahil grew from a proud young man into a calm, wise teacher himself. People from faraway places came to ask for his advice. He always listened with care, never interrupting, never pretending to know more than he did. And when people asked him, "How did you become so wise?" Rahil would smile and answer with the lesson that had changed his life. Wisdom begins with an empty cup. Sometimes we think we know everything, but pride blocks true learning. If we want to grow, we must first empty our cup, let go of pride, and be open to new lessons. Real wisdom is not in showing how much we know, but in staying humble, curious, and ready to learn.